Chapter 1. The Forgotten World. In the vast expanse of the universe, there are places that remain mere coordinates on the maps of spacefarers, seldom visited and largely ignored. One such place was GX-252, a desolate planet on the outskirts of the Andromeda sector, where the ruins of a once great civilization lay buried under centuries of sand and silence. The planet, known only to a handful of scholars and historians, had been the site of a technologically advanced society whose achievements were whispered in academic circles but never fully understood. The society had vanished, erased by a cataclysm that left behind only echoes of its existence scattered among the windswept ruins. The atmosphere of GX-252 was thin, barely breathable, with a chill that seeped into the bones of any who dared traverse its surface. It was on this forgotten world that Julian Carter, a young archaeologist rejected by the mainstream scientific community for his radical theories about interstellar travel and ancient civilizations, found himself wandering. Julian, whose career had faltered under the skepticism of his peers, saw GX-252 as his last chance to prove that the legends of advanced ancient technologies were more than just myths. Julian's arrival on GX-252 was marked by a sense of overwhelming isolation. The landscape was a tapestry of desolation, with towering dunes and jagged rocks under a heavy, gray sky. The ruins, visible as shadows on the horizon, called to him with a siren's whisper, promising secrets shrouded in the sands. Driven by a mixture of desperation and hope, Julian set up his base camp at the edge of what appeared to be a vast, buried metropolis. As days turned into weeks, Julian meticulously excavated a small section of the ruins. His hands, guided by intuition and a lifetime of study, moved carefully over the stone and debris. It was during one such evening, as the twin suns of GX-252 dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the land, that Julian's tools scraped against something unlike the surrounding rock. It was unnaturally smooth and cold to the touch, a stark contrast to the rough sandstone he had become accustomed to. Clearing the sand with growing excitement, Julian uncovered what appeared to be a panel. It was embedded within the structure, covered in symbols that shimmered faintly under the light of his torch. The panel was part of a larger apparatus, angular and metallic, a stark anomaly against the backdrop of eroded buildings and dust. Intrigued and careful not to damage his find, Julian worked around the clock, uncovering more of the machine, which seemed to stretch deep into the earth, its purpose and design unclear. The breakthrough came when Julian, exhausted and running low on supplies, accidentally activated the machine. As his hand brushed against the panel, the symbols pulsed brightly, and a low hum began to fill the air, vibrations running through the ground and into his bones. The machine whirred to life, its parts moving with a precision that belied their age. Lights flickered along its surface, and screens lit up with data in a language Julian could not comprehend. Stunned by the sudden activation, Julian stepped back as the machine extended what appeared to be a console towards him. Hesitant but driven by curiosity, he interacted with the console, and in response, the machine projected a holographic display of the galaxy. The display was centered on a star system unfamiliar to Julian, marked with coordinates and a series of complex calculations. Realizing the significance of his discovery, Julian knew that this machine was not merely a relic but a repository of knowledge, possibly a navigation device or a star map used by the ancient civilization to traverse the cosmos. The implications were staggering. Here was proof that interstellar travel was not only possible, but had been achieved long before humans had even conceived of reaching beyond their solar system. Fueled by the potential of his discovery, Julian documented everything, recording the symbols, the machine's responses, and the star map. He knew that the scientific community would have to reconsider not only his theories, but also the history of technological development in the universe. This ancient machine, capable of awakening after centuries of dormancy to display knowledge of the stars, was the key to transforming human understanding of their place in the cosmos. With the data he needed, Julian prepared to return to civilization. The journey back was filled with a mix of trepidation and excitement. He was aware that his findings would be met with skepticism, perhaps even hostility, but the truth was undeniable. As GX-252 faded into the distance, Julian looked back at the ruins, now a silent guardian of secrets that had the power to change everything. He was no longer the rejected scientist but the bearer of a new reality, ready to challenge the universe with his revelations. Chapter 2. The Return and Revelation. Upon his return to Earth, Julian Carter was burdened not only with groundbreaking data, but also with the anticipation of the skeptical reception that awaited him. He had been marginalized by the academic community before, his theories deemed too radical, too far-fetched to be taken seriously. However, this time, armed with irrefutable evidence and a determination forged in the lonely winds of GX 252, Julian was ready to confront the scientific establishment. He organized his findings meticulously, preparing a comprehensive presentation for the Galactic Archaeological Council, the leading authority in his field. The council had the influence to either validate his discoveries or dismiss them into obscurity. As the date of the presentation approached, Julian's nerves were taut with the pressure of the upcoming challenge. On the day of the presentation, the auditorium was packed with experts and scholars, buzzing with whispers and speculations about Julian's recent expedition. Julian stepped onto the stage, his heart pounding in his chest but his resolve steady. He began by detailing the location and initial discovery of the machine, supporting his narration with images and videos captured on GX 252. The audience was visibly intrigued but still wary, their skepticism palpable in the air. As he progressed to the activation of the machine and the subsequent display of the holographic star map, Julian unveiled the recordings of the machine's operation. The room fell silent, the audience captivated as the ancient technology came to life on the screen before them. Julian explained the symbols and the data, emphasizing their potential implications for understanding not only the technology of the past, but also the possible pathways to future interstellar travel. The climax of his presentation was the translation of the symbols. Aided by leading cryptologists he had collaborated with post-expedition, the machine, as Julian revealed, was an astrogation unit of sorts, capable of calculating and projecting navigational routes between distant star systems, a technology that predated human space travel by millennia. This revelation, supported by solid evidence and backed by expert testimony, sent ripples through the room. When Julian concluded, the auditorium was steeped in a stunned silence, broken moments later by a storm of questions. Some scholars were eager to learn more about the implications of his findings, while others were more cautious, voicing concerns about the authenticity and interpretation of the data. The debate was fierce and extended well beyond the scheduled time. Amid the chaos of theories and queries, Dr. Helena Myrov, a leading figure in galactic archaeology, who had been a vocal critic of Julian's work in the past, stood up. Her voice cut through the tumult, commanding attention. While I have been skeptical of Dr. Carter's theories in the past, the evidence presented today is compelling. It challenges our understanding of ancient civilizations and their technological capabilities. I propose a joint expedition to GX 252, sanctioned by this council, to further investigate this remarkable find. Julian's heart leapt at her words. Her endorsement was a critical turning point, lending his discoveries the credibility they needed. The council voted overwhelmingly in favor of the proposal, and within weeks, arrangements were being made for what was to be one of the most significant scientific missions in human history. The validation of his work marked a profound personal victory for Julian, but more importantly, it marked the beginning of a new era in human understanding of the cosmos. The news of the ancient machine and its capabilities made headlines around the world, sparking a renewed interest in space exploration and archaeology. Julian found himself at the center of a whirlwind of interviews, documentaries, and discussions about the future of human interstellar travel. Amidst this whirl of activities, Julian's thoughts often drifted back to GX 252, to the lonely ruins and the silent whispers of a long-gone civilization. He knew that the upcoming expedition might answer some of the lingering questions, or pose new ones even more profound. As he prepared to return to the planet that had changed his life, Julian felt a deep connection to the past, a bridge extending across time and space, linking the forgotten dreams of an ancient people with the hopes of humanity reaching for the stars. As the whirlwind of media attention gradually subsided, Julian immersed himself in the preparations for the return expedition to GX 252. This time, he would not be alone. A team of the galaxy's finest minds in archaeology, astrophysics, engineering, and linguistics would accompany him. The team was a diverse group, each member selected for their expertise and their potential to contribute to understanding the ancient technology. As Julian met with them, laying the groundwork for their mission, he felt a burgeoning sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. Together, they reviewed every detail of the machine's initial activation, debated its function and origins, and strategized about the logistics of their expedition. The excitement was palpable as they approached the launch date. The mission, funded and sanctioned by the Galactic Archaeological Council, had attracted even more attention than Julian's initial discovery. It was heralded as the beginning of a new chapter in human exploration and a potential bridge to lost civilizations and forgotten technologies. The potential for breakthroughs that could revolutionize space travel and our understanding of the universe's history was enormous. Chapter 3. Return to the Ruins. The journey back to GX-252 was charged with a palpable sense of anticipation. As their spacecraft, the Odyssey, approached the planet, the team members pressed against the viewing ports, eager for their first glimpse of the mysterious world. The planet appeared as a desolate orb, its surface a tapestry of ruins and sand, telling tales of a bygone era waiting to be rediscovered. Upon landing, Julian led the team to the site where he had uncovered the ancient machine. The ruins were just as he had left them, untouched and silent, holding the secrets of a civilization that had once mastered technologies far beyond humanity's current capabilities. The team set up their base camp with efficiency, each member eager to begin their work. The first few days were spent re-excavating the site. The team worked tirelessly, uncovering more of the ruins surrounding the machine. As they delved deeper, they discovered additional artifacts and structures that suggested the site was once a major hub of scientific and technological activity. The architecture was advanced, with evidence of energy systems that confounded even the brightest minds among them. Julian and Dr. Miratelas, a renowned linguist, focused on the machine's console. Together, they deciphered more of the symbols, uncovering layers of data that revealed the machine's capabilities not only as a navigator through the stars, but possibly as a key to harnessing energy ways that could alter the course of civilization. As the expedition continued, the team began to piece together the history of the planet's inhabitants. They had been a race of beings not unlike humans, driven by a thirst for knowledge and exploration. However, their civilization had met a tragic end, the details of which remained murky. The team speculated about possible scenarios ranging from self-destruction due to technological mishandling to a devastating natural disaster exacerbated by their advanced technology. Amid these discoveries, Julian felt a deepening connection to these long-lost people. He saw in their reach for the stars a reflection of humanity's own aspirations and warnings of the pitfalls they must avoid. Each artifact, each deciphered line of code, added pieces to the puzzle of how this civilization had lived and died, offering both lessons and warnings for the future. The most significant breakthrough came when Dr. Talos successfully activated another function of the machine. It projected a map of the galaxy as it had been eons ago, highlighting trade routes and colonization patterns. This map provided unprecedented insights into the galactic history, revealing connections between ancient civilizations previously thought to be isolated or mythical. This discovery sent shockwaves throughout the scientific community back on Earth. The implications were profound, suggesting a network of interstellar travel and cultural exchange that predated human history by millennia. The team's findings on GX-252 opened up new theories of planetary development and historical cosmology, challenging scholars and scientists to rethink the narrative of galactic history. As they prepared to conclude the expedition, Julian looked over the ruins one last time. The winds of GX-252, once just carriers of sand and dust, now seemed to him like the whispers of the past, carrying stories of a people who had reached for the heavens, just as humanity was now poised to do. Inspired by these reflections, Julian knew that the return to Earth was not the end of their journey but the beginning of a new chapter in human understanding of the cosmos, a chapter filled with promise and endless possibilities. Together with his team, Julian returned to Earth as a herald of a new era, an era where the past and the future would converge to illuminate the present. They brought back not just data and artifacts but a new vision for humanity's place in the universe. A vision that was as much about looking inward at our own potential and limitations as it was about reaching outward into the stars. As the Odyssey made its way back to Earth, the data and artifacts collected from GX-252 were carefully analyzed and prepared for dissemination across various scientific communities and institutions. The implications of their findings were monumental, suggesting not only a revisitation of human history, but also a profound expansion of the current understanding of cosmic civilizations. This profound journey into the past had unveiled a potential future of interstellar collaboration and technological advancement that could significantly alter humanity's trajectory. Back on Earth, anticipation was building. Julian's upcoming presentation at the World Science Summit was set to be the focal point of the scientific year, eagerly awaited by academics, industry leaders, and policymakers alike. Julian, together with his team, meticulously prepared every piece of evidence, every artifact, and every byte of data for what was to be a transformative disclosure. As he stood before the assembly on the day of the summit, Julian felt a surge of responsibility. The auditorium was packed, a sea of faces from all over the world, representing a myriad of disciplines, all waiting to hear the findings from GX-252. Julian began by outlining the journey, the discovery of the ancient machine, and the initial activation that had revealed the holographic star map. He then delved deeper into their more recent discoveries, the energy systems, and the expanded map of ancient trade routes and colonization patterns that suggested a once thriving network of interstellar activity. Dr. Mira Talos joined him on stage to discuss the linguistic breakthroughs they had achieved. She explained how the deciphering of the ancient language had not only allowed them to understand the machine's functions, but had also revealed historical records and scientific knowledge of the civilization. This segment, rich with implications for linguistics, archaeology, and anthropology, underscored the interdisciplinary impact of their findings. The climax of the presentation involved a live demonstration of a smaller prototype of the ancient machine that the engineering team had reconstructed based on their findings. As Julian activated the prototype, the audience was treated to a live display of the holographic star map, now annotated with translations and data points. The demonstration concluded with a simulation of the potential uses of the ancient energy systems, suggesting ways this could revolutionize current technologies. The response was overwhelming. The presentation concluded to standing ovation, a rare occurrence in the usually reserved atmosphere of academic conferences. In the days that followed, Julian and his team were inundated with requests for collaborations, interviews, and lectures. Universities and research institutes expressed interest in developing programs based on the technologies uncovered, and there was talk of an international coalition to fund and direct further explorations of other potential sites similar to GX-252. The success at the summit marked the beginning of what many called the New Galactic Renaissance. Humanity was on the brink of a new age, an era where the boundaries of space and technology could expand beyond the solar system, guided by the wisdom of an ancient civilization that had reached out from the sands of time to hand them the stars. The impact of the GX-252 findings resonated beyond academia. It captured the public imagination and played a pivotal role in shaping policy and funding priorities. Space agencies received unprecedented budgets to plan missions that would utilize the new technologies and insights from the ancient data. Private companies invested in research and development of energy systems and space travel technologies that leveraged the ancient civilization's advancements. For Julian, the journey from a rejected scientist to a pioneer of a new scientific frontier was both vindicating and humbling. He knew that the road ahead would be filled with challenges as humanity grappled with the responsibilities of the knowledge they now possessed. But as he worked alongside his team, preparing for the next phase of exploration and discovery, he felt a profound connection to the continuum of discovery and exploration that defined not just human history but the history of the cosmos. The legacy of GX-252 was thus not merely in the technologies it had unveiled or the historical insights it offered, but in its affirmation of the relentless human quest for knowledge, a quest that, time and again, had proven to be the most enduring of human endeavors. Amid the resurgence of global interest in space exploration, Julian and his team were not content to rest on their laurels. They knew that the full potential of their findings had only just begun to be tapped. While the initial discoveries had revolutionized their understanding and capabilities, the true value lay in what could be built upon these foundations. They initiated multiple collaborative projects, each aimed at harnessing the ancient technologies to solve modern problems and push the boundaries of human capability and understanding. One such project was the development of an advanced propulsion system based on the energy principles extracted from the ancient machine. The project team, comprising some of the brightest minds from physics, engineering, and quantum mechanics, worked tirelessly, translating theoretical knowledge into practical applications. Their goal was audacious: to create a propulsion system that could make interstellar travel feasible and affordable, opening up the stars to exploration and even colonization. Chapter 4: The New Dawn. As the projects progressed, the world watched with bated breath. The implications of their success would be monumental, representing a leap not just in technology but in human potential. It was during this period of intense innovation and anticipation that Julian planned the capstone of their efforts: the launch of the Pioneer, the first spacecraft to incorporate the ancient propulsion technology in a practical test. The Pioneer was sleek and unlike any craft built before. It was designed not just for efficiency and power, but also as a symbol of the new era of exploration it heralded. Its launch was set to be a global event, streamed to billions around the planet, with many seeing it as the dawn of a new age in human history. On the day of the launch, Julian stood at the command center, his team around him, each member aware of the magnitude of the moment. As the countdown commenced, Julian felt a convergence of emotions: pride, anticipation, anxiety, all woven into the fabric of this culminating point. The Pioneer sat on the launch pad, bathed in the light of the early dawn, ready to carve a path through the heavens. 10, 9, 8. The countdown echoed through the command center, broadcasted to every corner of the Earth. Julian watched, his heart mirroring the beats of the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. The engines roared to life, a brilliant surge of light and power that thrust the Pioneer upwards, breaking the bonds of Earth's gravity. As the spacecraft ascended, the team tracked its trajectory and systems. Everything performed flawlessly, the new propulsion system operating beyond even their optimistic predictions. The Pioneer reached orbit, and then, with a burst of its revolutionary engines, it shot towards the moon, reaching it in record time before setting a course deeper into the solar system. The success of the launch was more than a technological triumph. It was a beacon of hope and a testament to what humanity could achieve. Celebrations erupted worldwide, with people of all nations, races, and creeds seeing in this a common strand of shared destiny and potential. The barriers that had once seemed insurmountable were now just waypoints on a new journey that stretched into the stars. Julian, reflecting on the journey from the dusty ruins of GX-252 to this moment, felt a deep sense of fulfillment and wonder. The ancient civilization that had reached out across time had not only given humanity new tools, but had reminded them of the unending quest for knowledge and exploration that defined their species. The Pioneer's journey continued, sending back data and images that captivated and inspired. Schools, universities, and research institutions used these as educational tools, igniting a new generation's interest in science and space. The ancient technologies had not only transformed space travel, but had also revitalized global education and unity. As Julian looked forward, he envisioned a future where humanity stepped out into the galaxy as explorers and guardians of the legacy they had inherited. The universe was vast, with mysteries and wonders awaiting them, and now humanity was ready to meet them, propelled not just by technology but by an unquenchable spirit of adventure and a commitment to the shared well-being of all sentient beings. In this new dawn, as the stars awaited them, humanity stepped forward, together, into the infinite. In the years that followed the successful launch of the Pioneer, humanity embarked on an unprecedented era of exploration and discovery. The ancient propulsion technology had not only made interstellar travel more accessible, but also significantly reduced the journey times between stars, enabling a rapid expansion of human presence in the galaxy. The newly established interstellar routes opened up trade, cultural exchanges, and diplomatic missions with alien civilizations, some of which had been isolated or unknown until then. Julian, once a lone archaeologist discredited by his peers, now served as the director of the United Earth Space Agency, an organization that emerged as a beacon of coordination for Earth's newfound place in the galactic community. Under his leadership, missions were carefully planned and executed, always with an eye towards ethical exploration and the avoidance of the colonialist attitudes that had marred much of human history. The technology from GX-252 also spurred advancements in energy production, environmental restoration, and medical sciences. The same principles that allowed the Pioneer to travel swiftly through space were adapted to create clean energy solutions that helped reverse much of the damage Earth's environment had suffered over centuries. This renaissance of technology and philosophy led to a golden age for Earth, which saw previously unimaginable levels of prosperity and sustainability. As old conflicts resolved under the light of new understandings and shared goals, Earth presented itself as a mature member of the galactic community. Julian watched this transformation with a sense of deep satisfaction and humility. His early dreams of proving the historical significance of ancient technologies had morphed into a reality where those technologies were now part of everyday life, helping to solve problems that had once seemed insurmountable. In his later years, Julian decided to write a memoir, detailing his journey from the ruins on GX-252 to the establishment of humanity as a key player in the galactic arena. His book, Bridges to the Stars, Humanity's Path to the Galactic Age, became an instant bestseller, used in universities and institutions as a textbook on the power of perseverance, vision, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Towards the end of his career, Julian organized one last mission, this time to return to GX-252. Accompanied by a team of young scientists, engineers, and historians, Julian revisited the ruins where he had made his groundbreaking discovery. The site had been preserved as a historical landmark, a reminder of the humble beginnings of humanity's galactic era. Standing once again among the ancient ruins, Julian felt a profound connection to the past and the future. He addressed his team with a gentle voice, heavy with emotion. This is where it all began, where we first realized that we were not alone in our struggles or our aspirations. Let this place serve as a reminder that knowledge and discovery are eternal bridges that can carry us to new worlds, both outside and within ourselves. Julian's final years were peaceful, spent mentoring the next generation of explorers and thinkers. He passed away quietly at his home, his last sight being the night sky filled with stars that once seemed distant and unreachable. His legacy, however, continued through the countless lives he had touched, through the ongoing missions of exploration and discovery, and through the enduring human spirit that continued to seek out new horizons. Humanity's journey through the stars, sparked by the discovery of an ancient machine in the ruins of a forgotten world, was Julian's gift to his species, a gift of understanding, unity, and an unending quest for knowledge. The universe, with all its mysteries and wonders, was now not just a realm to explore but a place to belong. And as the stars continued to twinkle in the vast cosmos, they whispered the tales of a species that had looked beyond itself, to the ruins of the past, and found a way to light up the future.